Anybody on? Just pulling up a Positivity Daily. Hi, everybody. Anybody on with me yet? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm with you. Hi, Mary. Welcome, everybody. I see Life Review is blowing up on TikTok. Like 255,000 people talking about their life review. Anybody else interested in doing a little once over on your life? Where you've been, where you are now, where you'll be in the future? Hello. Hi, I'm Jill. Nice to have you with me this evening. I've got YouTube and TikTok going live tonight. So good to see you guys. I didn't go live yesterday. You know, I apologize. That's all I can do. I have no excuses other than sometimes I just have to say that my content, my at least 3 pieces of content has to be enough because my life just gets squished out with my 2 other jobs and the dogs, the life of a pastor, etc. So I'm just happy to be with you this evening, and I love reflecting on life. How many of you feel like you've just lived maybe multiple lives in this one life? I'm not talking about reincarnation here. Now that's for a whole different subject. I'm not opposed to talking about controversial things and things that we don't all agree on necessarily, but that's not what I'm talking about. I feel like I have this book, in my already life. 66 years of my life. How about you? How many chapters in your book? Hello, everybody. Welcome. So nice to have you with me. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Excuse me, I've got a frog, and my dog wants me to throw fetch. So gotta humor the dogs this evening a little bit. We just got home. Polly's sitting over here. I would love to, excuse me. I wish I could just swivel. I don't have quite all the equipment to be really fancy yet, but just swivel the phones or so you could see the dogs and stuff. That would be so nice. Someday, right? So, it kind of brings me to my point. I never would have done this in a past life, in this life. Like one of those chapters that I just had in the previous years before this. I never did selfies. I didn't want to be online. I thought it was kind of, I don't know, some of them like showing off and egotistical and, like all about you stuff. And I just couldn't do it, you guys. And then I realized that this digital space, this online space, it's blowing up. It's like the number 1 fastest growing industry. And it's like taking the place of real jobs, like jobs I'm used to. And I realized we're going to get left behind. People like me, boomers, we're going to just get left behind if we don't step into it, if we don't take the challenge. It's kind of like take the challenge. What's the movie, TV show, series, Survivor. And I was just feeling like the other series, Lost. Oh, can anybody relate? Relate to that? So I've had 66 chapters, I swear, in this life of mine. And, I look back and I'm not even the same person. Anybody feel that way? Like you literally look back at childhood, teen years, young adult life, 20s, 30s, raising kids. That is, especially childhood and teen years for me, I'm not even the same person. And that's a fact. Now, interesting. I'm a pastor, for those of you who don't know this about me yet. If you're new to my TikTok, by the way, go please and follow me. Please like my posts if you like them. Please share this with somebody. In this chapter of my life, I am a pastor, and I'm also now moving, I'm shifting, I'm transforming my life for my retirement years into this digital marketing space, this online space, so I don't get left behind, and so that I can expand my ministry, expand my growth, right? I'm really excited about it. This is so exciting, you guys. This, the potential of what is in store for myself and others like me. Oh, I'm jiggling the table. Sorry about that. I saw my face like moving. There's an earthquake. No, there's not. So that's what I'm currently doing. Yeah. Is so if you're not familiar with my channel, I am on social media for the first time in my life after 6 months being here. I started in August. After doing some network marketing to supplement my income as a pastor, trying to supplement my retirement, my savings, right? Social Security, all those controversial subjects like Social Security these days. You know what? We can't depend on anything anymore, can we? I mean, we cannot, and we are not powerless. You're not powerless. You know that, right? You create, sorry to point. I caught myself pointing the other day because I noticed this one lady was on her lives doing the pointing thing. And and I thought, oh, I don't want to do that. So I apologize if that annoys you or triggers you in any way. And my son goes, just do the old Bob Dole thing. Oh my gosh. Do you remember that? So Bob Dole used to point, and I guess his advisors or whatever got upset with him, and so he would point his knuckle. Do you remember that? Anybody? He'd point his knuckle at his audience, to those he was talking to. So I apologize for pointing. But what was I saying? It must have been good. Anyhow, yeah, I'm using this digital space to, once again, I am transforming my life. And I have reinvented myself so many times. Anybody else? Anybody else done a review of your life and realized, just maybe had that, sometimes it feels like I hit this plateau. You ever feel that way? Like, you start something new and it's exciting or interesting to you for a while, and you build it and you grow it, or, it's just a new job, a new, who knows, new town, new friend, I don't know, new hobby, I don't know, interest. And then after a while, for me, it's usually like a spiritual growth thing too. It's kind of like, and I get to this plateau and I realize I'm just kind of humming along. I'm really comfortable, but I'm just kind of humming along. And it feels to me, my soul, like death. I mean, it's like there is nothing worse than remaining on, I'm really comfortable at a plateau for too long. That feels uncomfortable to me after a while. Anybody else like that? Like you just want that juiciness, that to feel alive. What brings you alive? For me, it's like challenging almost, challenging myself, stretching myself. I wouldn't say that I'm a huge risk taker by any means. And I'm not into, what do they call them, extreme sports by any means. But at the same time, I do push the limits a little bit. Like, yeah, I am just burning out easily. How do you say your name? Ukranada? Oh, beautiful name. Just burning out easily. Well, that's interesting. Like, are you like tired and worn out kind of burnout? Or is it more like, do you just feel like sucked dry? Is it like life energy sucking you dry? I mean, I know that energy too. Like when you're in the wrong place with the wrong people. Hey, dog, knock it off. I think she just unplugged me. You getting too rowdy? You girl. I can't be mad at her. She's so cute. Oh, hey, no competition. No competition, guys. So yeah, talk to me about that. That's interesting. Yeah. So I get to this point and it's like rolling right along, and I can do that for a while. And I've actually been at my 2 churches that I'm at right now for like 10 years, and I love them. There's nothing wrong. But they're not, and I'm not growing. And that's my fault. I have nobody to blame but myself, right? Did you know, you guys? I mean, if any of you are on here because you kind of like my, I don't know if we call TikTok channels. We call TikTok a channel. If you're on my page, if you're on my TikTok live, because you're interested in spirituality, but I'm a pastor. 2 churches. I'm in a rural area. I'm in South Dakota. Where are you from? Lazy. Lazy. I'm just burnt out, you said, easily. And then you said lazy. Are you feeling like you're just burnt out because you're lazy? Like you're just kind of just, what do I want to say? You are in Ukraine, live in Alabama. Oh, no, you're from Ukraine. You live in Alabama. How do you like Alabama? I bet you have better weather than we do here. I'm way up by Canada, kind of. Oops, sorry. The dog just about that girl. I'm sorry. I have a Rowdy. She is the cutest thing, but she is so full of vim and vigor right now. It was like 5 degrees when I got up this morning. And it's probably 20 right now, and it's gonna what do I want to say? My weather channel here says temperatures to plummet. Yeah, so it's not good. All right, that's what you did. You did unplug, a little stinker. Okay, let's try this again. I don't want to lose. There you go. I don't want to lose anything. 70 degrees and you like it. That's awesome. I'm so happy. That's good. Alabama's gorgeous. We drove through there to get to Florida a couple years ago. We stayed in like New Orleans, and then we kind of drove. I forget what that highway is there, but I just loved it. Yeah, definitely. I could do that in the winter here. I could be in Alabama. I love it up here in the summer though. So what was I saying? I get off track easily. Sorry. Kind of talk in circles, right? But someday we'll get there. So yeah, I'm not really into the extreme sports, but I do ride my own motorcycle. I've jumped out of an airplane before. I've taught motorcycle safety. I've been a flight attendant for 8 years for United. I love to travel. I love to explore. I've lived in the Middle East, Stephen. I just think it's fascinating. 280. What? Oh, 280, the highway, I think you're saying. Yes, I'm a pastor. I'm a pastor, yes, of 2 churches, yes. And you were asking why 2 churches. I'm in the rural area in South Dakota. We are this huge state that has 700,000 people living here in the whole state. Okay, give you an idea. So I don't know, you'd have to look at the map, South Dakota, Alabama, and kind of compare the size of the states. I don't know exactly mileage, square foot, not square foot. What am I trying to say? Mileage wise, how big, which one's bigger, but per capita demography, we are so underpopulated. And part of that's probably because we're so cold here, but 700,000 people is our population. And so we have a bunch of these little rural churches around. And of course, they're not rich. We don't have big cities. We don't have big mega cities. I think our biggest city it's Sioux Falls on the other side of the state from where I'm at. And I don't even know if it's 500,000 people that live. I mean, that would be the majority of the state, if so. So no, it's not even 500,000 people in that one city, and that's the biggest city. So I live in a town of about, I think, 80,000. And the churches I serve, one of them is in a town of like 250 people, and the other one's in a town of like 1,200 people, I think. So they're not, they're small, they're not well attended, not the big churches. And so they don't have a lot of money. So I have two of them that are kind of near to each other, both Presbyterian. And in South Dakota, I mean, I've been doing this for over 35 years. And typically we have 2-point charges. Just most of us in rural areas do. We have two churches. So it's called a 2-point charge. And so I go and I preach at one of them at 9:00, and I go preach at the other one at 11:00. It's about a 20-minute drive in between. So you want to be a certified biblical counselor. Are you going to school for that? That's interesting. What are you doing now, or what did you do in Ukraine, or what did you do before? We're doing this life review, you guys. Anybody can pop in here. I think that's very interesting. Pray for me, Cancer, Phyllis. Thank you, Phyllis. You know what? I'm so glad, Phyllis, that you said that. I bet you, I wish I knew how to pronounce your name correctly, and I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. Yukranada. Maybe you can help me with that. ACBC certification, but I work in a bank. Okay. So yeah, talking about life review, you have been doing one thing, and meanwhile, you're feeling like called, right? You're like at this level, like, this is not it for me. And if you're spiritual, you feel that on a soul level, like there's more, right? Phyllis, I'm going to pray for you. And I'm also drawing in Natalia. Well, thank you. Did I say that right, Natalia? Natalia, will you pray for Phyllis with me too? Wherever two or more are in agreement, God is there. That's scriptural, right? Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to pray for, I at least am claiming physical healing, spiritual healing. Thank you, Natalia. For Phyllis. Phyllis, I'm going to ask you, have you asked out loud? Have you out loud asked the Lord to heal you? Have you talked to God about this? I'm just throwing this out there, because I'm sure you've prayed, and I hope you have a prayer family. I hope you have a church family. I hope you have people praying for you. As a matter of fact, good. Okay, good. If you'd like, Phyllis, I'll even put you on my church, our prayer list, if that's okay. I never do that without asking. So I will put you on my prayer list. And that is so interesting that you are the first person that's asked for personal prayers on my channel so far. I will, Phyllis. Thank you. I will. Let me write it down. So these were my bulletins today. You like that? For Valentine's Day. Truly, it is a blessed thing to love on earth as we hope to love in heaven. If we love one another, God dwells in us. John chapter 4, verse 12. Happy Valentine's Day, all my friends. So yes, I'm going to add you to both of my, where is it? Oh, here we go. Both of my prayer lists, Phyllis. The reason I think that's interesting, Phyllis, is more likes attract viewers. Oh, sorry, that's TikTok. Is because today I got a message from God that was like, I need to be on my lives telling people to write in, to respond, to ask for prayer that need it. And then you just did. You asked. You came to me without me even telling people, please let me know your prayer requests below. Please make comments about your prayer requests, and we will pray for you. Imagine if more of us did that. So, hold on, Phyllis. I'm writing this down on both of my prayer lists. And I have a prayer chain, ladies, at both churches, and we will pray for you. And what I know about our Creator, listen, you, be careful. Don't unplug me again. Stinker butt. And she's got her little Valentine's toy. It was her birthday the other day. I had to buy her a new toy. I know. And you got to meet her. She's so cute. Thank you, Roxy. Thanks so much for the gift. Let's see, gift giver badge you got. Yay. Thank you. What was I saying? So far as prayer, Phyllis, God knows the desires of our hearts, as you know. And physical illness is like the last warning sign that we usually get typically. It's like usually we have little other signs, and then physically when our body gets hit. And our Creator only wants good for us. God only wants good for us. God has, God is our great physician. And God created you, and you are beloved of His. So, but we have to first ask. And number 2, we have to listen, right? We have to listen and have open ears to know the guidance, get that guidance for what it is that I hate to say that we have done or we have called in or, but really it is all about our own spiritual path with God. It's our own relationship with God. God didn't do it. It's not God's fault. God loves us. But each one of us as children of God has that free will, right? And sometimes we kind of miss the mark. But by faith, Jesus did it over and over again, healing people. All we have to do is come to the Father and ask. And it also says where 2 or more are gathered in His name, we pray and we can agree, stand in agreement. And we can move mountains. So we just claim it. We claim it for Phyllis tonight. Okay? And I'll be praying for you throughout this week. And I'm here most nights. I'm supposed to be here every night, and sometimes I miss a night. Sorry, but I do. My life is pretty full, and I have to give myself that grace once in a while. But I really want you to know that I'm here for you. Absolutely. And you're welcome. I don't DM. I apologize. I don't direct message. Thank you for following me. Thank you. Appreciate that. I don't DM because there's too many fake and phony accounts and people that are hacking and doing all this crazy stuff online. So in order to protect myself and not distract too, because I do have other people I need to serve, and I can't be out there answering fakes and phonies and weeding them out and stuff. So the only way to get in touch with me where we can talk back and forth is through my website. And that is on my page, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can find me there. You can go to my website, which is A Flourishing Legacy. I guess I've got, here we go. It's aflourishinglegacy.com. And I got this started initially through my, through my digital marketing, my online marketing that I am doing now to help people get out of debt, to help people like myself who thought they were going to be able to retire and now can't retire and need to supplement their pension and their savings and their Social Security, to help moms be able to stay home with their little ones, right? And stay in the home with their kids and be able to work from home. This online digital space, you guys, is a miracle, honestly. If I would have known about this, or they would have had this when I was raising my two boys, which will be, my boys will be 44 tomorrow. I have twins. My sons will be 44 tomorrow. And I had to raise them as a single parent. If my this would have been around when I was raising them, my life would be so different, and yet I'm not begrudging my past. Well, you're so sweet. Thank you, Phyllis. Very, very nice to meet you and have you with me. I hope, yes, I hope you stay with me. I want to see your journey ahead of you. Okay, so we're going to walk this together. You are not alone. And yes, I hope you have all the prayer support at home too. That's so important. Okay, absolutely. So, yeah, I'm a pastor, and my faith is so strong, you guys. Jesus said, "Far greater things than these shall you do." And he meant it. Natalia is on here. She wants to be a biblical counselor. I mean, I think we have made milk, toast, and honey out of Jesus's teachings. Like he was just really a wonderful guy and he's our savior, and thank God for that. But no, he meant it. There are commandments in the Bible. Jesus said he commanded us to love our neighbor. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. The Old Testament has 10, right? 10 commandments. We have 2 in the New Testament. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. And for some reason, though, we want to take Jesus's teachings and just water them down and make him just a nice guy, a nice teacher that said good things and healed some people, but that's not for us. We can't do the same thing, but he told us we could. And the other commandment he gave us is go and heal. Remember when he sent out the disciples? He sent them out 2 by 2, and he said, go and heal them. And they were a little shocked, like, I can't do that. They really were like not ready. They didn't think they could do it. But he knew they could. Why? Because we're not the ones doing the healing. I'm not the one doing the healing. Natalia and my prayers, it's not us doing the healing, is it? That's how he knew those disciples could go out and heal just like he did, because he knew it was the Father. It was the Creator that did that. It's only God does it through us. So God is our great healer, the great physician. And we have to just lean into that. Get out of our own way and lean into that. Trust in that. Trust in God. Jesus said, trust also in me. And we are commanded to go and heal. So we're called to do this. And I am called to do this. I'm called to pray for people and to heal people. And it's not just faith healing. I was almost going to say by faith. Yes, it's by faith because we have to believe first. But it's more than faith. It's a knowing. It's a knowing. It's an understanding. It's almost like a science. We know this will happen. This is possible because we know who God is and we know who we are as his child. So yeah, my journey, my life journey. For those of you that are still with me, yeah, I'm a singer. That's my background. I didn't want to do this. That's not where I came from. I was always, even by age 6, I went to church. I'm third generation pastor. My great grandfather was a Methodist circuit rider, pastor in the United Methodist Church, and my mom was a pastor. She just passed away. Thanks everybody for being with me. I see invite digital manifestation pay to join as a live guest. A bunch of people want to be live guests, or maybe that's just TikTok's invitation, not sure. But I don't know them, so I'm not going to do that right now. Rodeo Cowboy is with us, and John, hi, welcome. So anyhow, yeah, I was a singer as a young kid, and I knew that's what I was going to do. But I had a really strong faith by the age of 6. I had my talk with God. I was raised in the church, but I had my talk with God. One of those days I was punished and left alone in my room for too long. Kind of like meditation time. And I knew. I was told there was that. It was kind of like the Jeremiah passage that I read today in church, chapter 1, verse 4 through 10, where Jeremiah gets his call, the Old Testament prophet. He gets his call to be a prophet for God's people, to warn them, to forewarn them of the destruction of Jerusalem and Judah, and that he would also prophesy to help them rebuild, the rebuilding of Judah, and to give them hope that it would be okay, that they were still called to be God's people, even amidst the destruction and the chaos, right? And God told him, he said, I know you, and I've known you before the womb. I knew you before the womb. How can you watch a football game while they are currently dismantling the Constitution? I'm not sure what you're talking about. How can you watch a football game? I'm not watching a football game, Lardy. Anyhow, I'm not. I don't watch football. My sons do, but yeah, I wasn't talking about football. And I'm not talking about the Constitution. I'm talking about God's law. For anybody that's interested, hi, Margaret. Nice to have you with me. Earth Citizen, Dee Dee, nice to have you with me. No, I'm talking about God's law, the law above all other laws, the law that if you claim it, now God doesn't force himself on anybody. It's a cool thing about God. He doesn't force himself. But if you claim that you live under God's law, that's the law I live under, not man's law. There is only one. There is only one. So just like Jeremiah was told in today's scripture by God, I knew you before the womb, he said. I knew you, Jeremiah, before the womb, and I have anointed you to be a prophet over nations and kingdoms, he said. And he was 17 years old when he received this call. 17 years old. He wasn't too sure about that. But at 6 years old, I don't know about a calling at that point, but I definitely knew there was a God, knew that God knew me before the womb, and knew that my life was, that I'm a soul, that I'm immortal, that my life is eternal. I knew that at age 6. And I'll tell you what, in trying times like today, in today's world is what I mean, it's really good to know, to have that reassurance, to know that no matter what, we have that reassurance that this is not the end. There is no death. Our life is not in this body. Our life is beyond that. So that's how healings happen, Phyllis, is your life is not of just this body. That is not who you are. And God knows that. And God sees you for who you really are. Your soul, who you really are. So I knew at a really young age that I wanted to be a singer. I thought I was going to be a singer. I thought that's what God put me here for. I knew God pretty well by then. I wasn't really interested in the church or organized religion. And by the time I was 16, 17, 18, my parents had told me, you can't do that. You can't be a singer. Only the lucky ones make it. Just don't even think about it. Go get a job. So all my hopes and dreams were dashed, and I didn't really know what I was living for then at that point. So I became a party girl and just kind of I didn't really care about much. I lost my dream. And then I got married and I had kids. I had twins. I was a single parent then once we got divorced. And then I had to go to school because I knew I didn't want to be a waitress the rest of my life and have to try to support them by myself. And I went to undergraduate school and have a vocal performance and performed for 3 years. And I lived by the grace of God, the hand of God just taking care of us every single step of the way. And then I listened again to the outside voices. You can't do this. You can't be a singer and raise those 2 boys. They need you, and you need to have a very secure foundation, a very secure future for them. You need to go be a minister because you have such a strong faith. Hello. He's going. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about, Uncle Todd. So I ended up going to seminary because my mom and my minister told me to go to seminary. And I kind of went kicking and screaming because I knew that really wasn't my call. At the time, it was my mom's call. Hey, can I join to talk to you about my inner voices? You can sure, you can talk about whatever you want to, Brody. Your inner voices. Sounds scary. We want to clarify that. So I went to seminary, and now I'm at that chapter. We're reflecting on life here, folks. Anybody want to reflect on life with me? You can talk, sure. Yeah, as long as you keep it clean and are respectful of others. Absolutely, anybody can talk about anything. It would make my day. So at this point in my life, though, this chapter in my life, I finally realized all my gifts and talents and abilities that God knew God, just like with Jeremiah, had his hand upon my life, had a plan for my life. All my gifts and talents definitely lead themselves to this ministry. And here I am. But I need to supplement my income because the little rural churches don't quite have enough money to supplement pastors well enough. So that's why I'm doing the digital marketing. And I know it sounds perhaps like to some, a conflict or something, but no, it's both end for me. I am not giving up the one to do the other. I am doing this. I am going to use this. Thanks for the love, you guys. I'm going to use this online space. I'm going to use this social media to be there for those who want to grow an online business, who want to learn more about digital marketing and how they can make money and supplement their income and even leave their careers behind and even retire and make more money probably than they ever have. That's just a fact. More millionaires are being made today in the digital space than any other. That's just the facts. Thank you so much, Uncle Todd. Appreciate that. But I'm also going to use this to have a healing presence here and to pray for people like Phyllis and to encourage people like Natalia who wants to go on to Bible school. Yes, Brody, anytime. What would you like to say? You keep asking to join. You just have to join in the conversation. I'm not going to do a live with you because I don't know you. If you'd like to join in with me, just in the conversation, yeah, we can build a relationship that way till I know you. I just don't know who you are. I apologize. So Monique, user 219, Dora, nice to have you with me. Thanks for joining me. Rosebud, nice to have you with me tonight. So yeah, we're talking about life review. Anybody have some life reviews of your own that you might want to? We've had a nice conversation tonight. Lots of people joining in. Brody would like to join in. It sounds like Patsy. Hi, nice to have you with me. So I don't think it has to be one or the other. I want to share all. And that's part of life. Life just kind of moves and shifts and transforms, and we get to do that, right? And we're guided by the Spirit, God, universe, creator, whatever you want to call that. And that leads the way, that nudges us on. The main thing is, you guys, live. Take a few risks. Don't, I think life sometimes has us so afraid. People contract and pull in their energies and keep safe. And the same job and the same, whether it's fulfilling or not, and they don't expand. And our brains, our abilities are capable of so much more. It's time to expand. Life is for the living. Jesus says, let the dead bury the dead. Might sound crass, but there are living people walking around today that have never truly lived. You notice that? Now they do movies about them, like about zombies. I'm sorry, but it's true. We need to wake up. Even the Bible talks about the sleepers. Jesus said there's those that are just sleeping. They won't wake up. It's time to wake up. Can I say that with more emphasis? Wake up and live your life. Life is short, and you are called, just like Isaiah, the prophet, just like Jeremiah, the prophet, just like the disciples. You are called by God to something more. Every single one of us. Have you figured it out? Have you heard the call? Have you stopped for a moment to ask, am I doing God's will? Am I open to it? Anybody? I'm not sure how long I've been on tonight. Anybody know? Oh, let's see here. Does it tell me here? Does it tell me? Can you please let me join? Brody, just join. Ask me a question. Talk to me. Share your... I'm not going to let you co-host. No. But you can feel free to join in on the conversation. I've been talking with Natalia and Phyllis, and I'm going to say no because I don't know you. So I apologize if that's what you expected. Another time, if I get to know you, perhaps. I don't know. Mickey, hi, nice to have you with me. So depending on how long I've been on here, I don't want to go on and on and on, unless there are some people that need more prayers. I pray for, there is nothing too small for us to pray about. And so if you need any kind of spiritual guidance, any kind of prayer, let me know. I'm going to read a devotional before we go, so I'll do that now. And then if there's more conversation after that, Isaiah 41 verse 10 says, I will strengthen you and I will help you. It's God's promise. Many years ago in a small Native American village, a farmer found himself in the unfortunate position of owing a large sum of money to a village moneylender. The moneylender, an old and unattractive man, had his eye on the farmer's beautiful daughter, so he made a proposal. He promised to forgive the farmer's debt if he could marry his daughter. Both the farmer and his daughter were horrified by the offer. The cunning moneylender, however, suggested that they let Providence decide the matter. He explained that he would place a black pebble and a white pebble into an empty money bag. Then the daughter would have to pick one pebble from the bag. If she picked the black pebble, she would become his wife, and her father's debt would be forgiven. If she picked the white pebble, she would not have to marry the moneylender, and her father's debt would still be forgiven. They were standing on a path covered in pebbles in the farmer's field, and as they spoke, the moneylender bent down to pick up two pebbles. The sharp-eyed daughter noticed that he had picked up two black pebbles and placed them into the bag. He then asked the girl to pick a pebble from the bag. Upon careful consideration, three possibilities seemed apparent. The girl could refuse to pick a pebble. She could expose the moneylender's dishonesty by revealing that there were only two black pebbles in the bag, or she could pick a black pebble and sacrifice herself to save her father from debt and imprisonment. Pause for a moment and think about this dilemma. The story is often shared to encourage thinking beyond traditional logic. The girl's predicament couldn't be solved using conventional logic. What would happen if she chose one of the above logical answers? What would you advise the young girl to do? Stop. Decide before proceeding further. Here's what she did. The girl reached into the money bag, drew out a pebble, and without looking at it, accidentally dropped it into the pebble-strewn path where it immediately blended in with the other pebbles. "Oh my, how clumsy of me," she said, "but never mind. If you look into the bag at the remaining pebble, you'll be able to tell which one I picked." Since the remaining pebble was black, it could only be assumed that she had picked the white pebble. The moneylender, unwilling to admit his dishonesty, found himself trapped by the girl's cleverness. She turned what seemed like an impossible situation into one of great advantage for herself. Moral of the story? Most complex problems have a solution, but we often fail to think outside the box. We believe that the solution to life's challenges isn't always found in our own reasoning. Instead, we should turn to God first in quiet prayer, open ourselves up to solutions that may initially seem strange or impossible. In the stillness of prayer, we become more receptive to higher wisdom beyond our own understanding. The prayer for today: Dear God, you have blessed me with patience, and yet it is up to me to use it and be patient. I turn to you and allow the divine peace and love to infuse my every thought and my every move. Dear God, you have blessed me with love, and I remain focused on that love. Before I speak, help me to always speak loving thoughts. As I deal with others, help me to react in positive, thoughtful ways. You have blessed me. The serenity that I feel is a direct result of knowing that I am totally and completely in your care. This serenity nourishes me so that I remain patient and kind towards myself and others at all times. Thank you, God, in Jesus' name. Your positive daily affirmation: your mind, my mind is what you'd say. My mind is open and receptive to new ideas. And the positive quote today is Ben Sweetland, from Ben Sweetland. Success is a journey, not the destination. Success is a journey, not the destination. Well, I really want to thank everybody for being with me this evening as we talked about our lives, reflected about our life, where we've been, where we are, where we want to be. And the most important part of that is the now moment and what lies ahead. So be good to yourself, be good to one another. I am praying for Phyllis this evening and this week. If you have prayer requests, you can always go to my site at A Flourishing Legacy, and together, if I get your email, we can talk back and forth there. I would love to pray with you. I'd love to be with you. If you're looking to start your own online business or have digital questions about the digital marketing space, I'm also here for mentoring and free mentorship in those areas too, and answering questions. So God bless you all this evening. Thank you for being with me. Your time is your number one most valuable gift. And so I really appreciate you being with me and sharing some of your life with me today. God bless you. Take good care and talk to you again next time. Good night. Oh, come on. Sorry. It's not. Oh, I don't know why. There we go.